How to use Luminar Neo's HDR Merge for stunning photos is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. Hello, everyone. All right, so I've been working a lot with our HDR Merge because I'm doing a course for Skylum real soon, which you'll be able to get on the Skylum Marketplace. It's all about AI and different things we can do with AI. So I dove into working with some interior shots, and I forgot I took these a long time ago. And in doing this, I wanted to show you some of the things I came up with. All right. Normally, I do my before and after images. Let's see if I actually have it. Actually, yeah, okay. So here's the after image. We're going to recreate this with all these interior shots that I took from the shoot. Now, I am going to say I get a little lazy when it comes to HDR. So if, like in this case here, if you have a tripod, you're planning your shoots, and you know exactly what you want to capture, well, yeah, then it's a breeze because you'll set the camera either 3 stops or 5 stops. So or 3 photos or 5 photos. Either you take 3 photos, one underexposed, one overexposed, one in the middle, or you do the 5 photo theory where it's 2 stops in each direction, then 1 stop, and then the normal. That's one way of doing it. Another option is if you didn't have a tripod, but you still want to get the HDR tone mapping effect. Let me show you that first. So here, let's just say we took this image here. And let's say that this image here was the only shot I took. Then you want to make sure it's a little underexposed. Now, if I bring it to HDR Merge as a single image, watch this. I'll merge it. And it's going to mimic. Here it is, it's already done. Look at that. It already mimicked it. It did a great job at bringing out the tone mapping with just a single image. But if you really want the full dynamic range, let's go back here. I'm going to select all of these just for now. And I'm going to drag and drop them into my HDR Merge. Batch processing. Here is where you need to add a little extra steps. I want auto align, distortion. Why not? Remove it. I was on a tripod, so really I'm not worried about ghosting. But what the heck, we'll just add it here. And merge. Now watch this. It's going to come back. Gone are the days that where I screwed up, like I took a shot and I can't remember what number I was on. And so I'd end up with misaligned or exposure. You know, some people stick their finger out, so it's my first shot and they go on. Honestly, the best thing to do is just put it in, decide if you want to do 3 or 5. And then when your camera burst mode, put that number in there. So I just press the shutter down and it automatically shoots that number of frames. So that's one way. That's the best way of doing it. If you screwed up and you forgot which frame you were on, well, just select all of them and look what happens. It's automatically going to go, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It knows exactly the number. Now look at this one. Same thing, 5, 5. Oh, here's one that you know I screwed up on. That was probably a test shot. So I'll just get rid of that one. I'll get rid of that one too. Yep, so those were test shots. Here's a 5, 5. Good, same thing. Same thing. Look at this. So it's organizing all of these for me. Now I'm going to cancel that out only because we don't need to do that many. And let's see. I'm going to clear it. Remove all the images. So I'm just going to select these here. All right. And notice again, I'm not quite sure where it started. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to select all of these up to here. And again, I'm doing this on purpose. I don't know really where I started that. And these settings should all stay the same, which they did. Merge. All right, look, these ones are good. Those are good. Those are good. Those are good. Okay, so it did a pretty good job. But what I'm going to do is this. Oh, you know what? I never deselected. No big deal. I'll just do this. I'll delete these sets that I don't want to process. Don't want to process that. I do want to keep that for now. Don't want to process that. These images here. You know what? I will process those. And you know what? I will process those too, just to show you a couple things. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue. Okay, 6 of them. So it's going to process 6 of those sets all together. Now, I wish I didn't do that because, again, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you get the idea. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to let it process. It already did 1 of the 6. But here's what's really cool. Once I get the images I really like, I'll just edit 1 image and then apply it to all 6 sets. All right, so we're on 3 sets, the 3rd set, and it's going to be coming in. Let's see. Good. Now imagine how long this used to take us in the old days. This was just a nightmare, and I got to be honest, I avoided shooting HDR because of that reason. Because I didn't do, well, where am I? Shoot to the ground. Now that's my reference shot. When I have to reset my image, the easiest thing to do, set the camera up like I just mentioned, 3 or 5 bracket shots, bracketing, then set that for my burst, press it or use a plunger. Now I don't have to worry about doing this ever again. All right. So this was done a while back. All right. So here I am. I'm done. Where do the images go? Well, they went back to HDR Merge. I don't want them there. I'm going to put them back eventually where the images came from. But let's just do this. I'm going to start with this image. And let's start editing it real quick. Well, notice I don't have a very, very expensive tilt shift lens. So we're going to use the transform tool under develop and watch this. Auto transform it. Boom, it did it automatically for me. Let's enrich the black tones. All right. I'm going to bring down the highlights just a little bit. Look at that. Overall, I'm good. Before, after, right click, adjustments, copy. Now that I have it set, I can just click the rest of the sets that we did, adjustments, paste, and like magic, look at that. It came out and it reorganized, realigned them for me. And now that I have it, once I do this, I'm going to deselect them all. And I'm going to export just one for now. Export. Well, where am I going to export it to? I want to put it back in the same folder that I got them from and maybe put it under the word complete. So in this case here, let's do this, photography. Here's complete. Select, export, and now there it goes. All right. So there I have it. A couple little extra tips in there. Export them back into the original folder. I like to put a new folder in there called _complete. This way I know exactly where they are. All right. Second thing, if you're photographing real estate like this, just like model release forms, sometimes you may need a property release. If you get a property release form, either use a program like Easy Model Release Form, I believe it's called. Easy Release Form. Easy Release Form is a digital. There's a few other ones. Once they sign it digitally, one is sent to the person who signed it and one is sent to you. Where do you store it? Put it in the folder where all the images are. This way, if you need that release form, again, a property release in this case, you'll know exactly where it is. Another option, if I were doing this full time, then yes, I would buy the $2,500 tilt shift lens. So the tilt shift lens did what Luminar Neo just did for me, to where it adjusted and got rid of the keystoning. And I know you're probably wondering, well, what the heck? If it does it for us, then why do I care? Why do I need to buy that expensive lens? If that's your job, if it's a specialty lens or a specialty job like this, try to get it done in camera as much as possible and use Luminar Neo to enhance your images. So that's just school for thought on that. For me personally, as a sports and portrait photographer, yeah, I'll spend $2,400 on that 24 to 70 lens or the 160 to 600 lens, so I don't have to crop inside Luminar Neo. Use the tools that'll help you. All right? So I hope that was helpful for you. That was HDR. Showed you one way how to use it if you don't have bracketing sets, and then another way if you do have bracketing. And I will admit, every so often, when I get a little non-creative, I'll drag and drop a single image, whether it's a portrait or landscape, or even in this case, real estate, into HDR Merge, one image, and let it do the tone mapping for me. And sometimes it comes out, when I'm doing a case like for portraits, that it's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. So try it out and see what it does from there. All right. Now, for those of you that don't have a copy of Luminar Neo, here is a link for you to subscribe, or for you to purchase it. You get a 10% discount using that link. If you already own Luminar Neo and you want to purchase something on Luminar Marketplace, keep this link ready for you. And this way you can get 10% off anything in your shopping cart. All right. And for those of you that are watching this on YouTube or on the rebroadcasting, thank you so much for watching. For everyone else who's here watching it live on Zoom, please stick around for the Ask Me Anything segment where you can ask any questions whatsoever pertaining to this topic. For everyone else, if you want to join us, check out the Zoom link to where next time you could be part of the Ask Me Anything segment that we're doing after the show. All right, so stick around. Everyone else, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next coffee break.